Hi people, gothatfunk obviously, and this is just going to be a really quick video response to my friend bossman103 and his video defending Islam. Bossman, voodoosixxx did a video response. I'm sure you will have seen it by the time you see this one, and I agree with pretty much everything that he said in his video, so I'm not going to labor the points all over again in this video. But I want to say a couple of things. First of all, I'll show you. I've got Muslim, see that? Muslim crescent and star tattooed on my arm. I got that in the middle of 2002, I believe. And I wanted to do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have religious stroke spiritual iconography all over me in tattoos. And no matter what, Islam would not have been excluded from that. So that's one thing. I would have had something eventually. But leaving that out of it, in 2002, it's difficult almost to really put myself in the mindset of what things were like in 2002. The campaign of fear, both here in the UK and in America, was at full tilt back in 2002. And there was an awful lot of anti-Islamic rhetoric in political discourse and in the media generally, and on the lips of regular people. And unfortunately, I think, that hasn't really died down, and if anything, you could argue that it's actually gotten worse. So I got this tattoo, not because I want to stand up for Islam. I cannot defend Islam. I cannot defend Christianity. But what I can do is stand up for Christians. What I can do is stand up for Muslims. Because they're just people like I'm people, you know, and you guys who are believers in your deity, you know, you want to be allowed to believe the things that you believe. And I think that as long as people do so peaceably and keep it in their homes or their places of worship and out of politics and education and don't go around trying to convert people, I've got no problem with religious people. Now, back in 2002, I remember seeing Donald Rumsfeld on the television. This is right before I got my tattoo. And he mentioned, a reporter asked him what his estimate was as to how many Al-Qaeda operatives there were worldwide. Now, I don't know how reliable the figure is, but the figure that Rumsfeld spouted off at this press conference was up to as many as 100,000 trained Al-Qaeda terrorists. Well, that's an awful lot. You know, that's a small city, isn't it? So that's not a small number of people, but on the other hand, it's a small number of Muslims, because if there's 1 billion Muslims in the world, like there supposedly is, 100,000 is 0.01%. Or put another way, that means 99.99% of Muslims aren't in Al-Qaeda. So even if everyone who is in Al-Qaeda, loosely affiliated with Al-Qaeda, has 200 sympathizers, you're still talking about 99.8% of Islam is not a terrorist. And I really felt that the vilification of Muslims was taking on a dimension that I've never been comfortable with. And so I wanted to get my tattoo to show my solidarity with Muslims. Not with Islam, but with Muslims. I'm against anybody being victimized for what they believe. And by the same token, I refuse to allow myself or my community to be victimized by people's beliefs. So, you know, this is where the problem is. I mean, as voodoosixxx said in his video, wouldn't it be nice, I suppose, you know, he didn't actually say this, I'm alluding to it though. I mean, wouldn't it be nice though if people who were religious could just practice their religion without trying to force it on other people? That's the problem. And like he said in his video, it's not just extremists that are trying to force it on other people. Unfortunately, there's an awful lot more of that going on. Now, I'm with you, boss man. You know, I think that the vast majority of believers believe what they believe in the quietness of their heart and mind, and they don't really go around trying to convert people. I'm with you on that, and I don't think that the majority of the faithful really present a real problem. But the institution of organized religion, be it Christian or Islamic or any other, is potentially dangerous, as we saw on September 11th, as we have seen throughout history, religion can be perverted by people in a position of authority within the institutions of religion. So I'm against organized religion, but I'm not against people being religious or spiritual or whatever word you want to throw on it. Each to their own, you know. Vive la différence. I'm all for people being different and having a different point of view to me, as long as they don't try to take mine away from me or try to change the world I live in and make it someplace I couldn't tolerate. So that's just my 2 cents. Thanks for watching. May all your ups and downs be ups.